joining us now on the Right to It guest line, former Buffalo Bill, All-Pro. Always nice enough to give us time when we're talking Bills. Maybe it's because Minucci is a former Bill, and we have that one line of communication.
We got that connection
with Steve Tasker joins us now. How you doing, Steve? Rocket Minucci, what's going on?
Doing good, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Well, thank you. We saw out there that just a couple hours ago that the email went out, the tweet that you need people to shovel some snow. So a lot of people show up for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I saw pictures. Some of the local guys were out there. There's it looked like 300 or 400 people showed up.
Jeez.
Yeah. So they couldn't show up. They couldn't show up for the Monday night game because there was a travel ban and nobody could get out of their house. So they had to just rely on the people who were close enough to walk over, This time they put the call out, and seriously, there was a line of a couple hundred people waiting to get in to shovel. So they're getting it done too. We had our show and we showed the live shot of the stadium, and it's just like a pie chart. They're starting to clear out section at a time, and it's going to be a much different atmosphere than it was on Monday night.
Steve, let's go back to last week and playing there. I remember only one time it was a Friday before we played Denver. Fortunately, the whiteout was on a Friday, so the gang, everybody had 2 days to get us ready for the game on Sunday. By the way, the Broncos had to go land in Niagara Falls because of the blizzard. But I mean, what happened last week was just incredible. It's kind of a once-in-a-lifetime kind of thing. Describe that game in reference, like you said, people getting there. And then once things got cleared off, it seemed like business as usual. But, I mean, talk about helter-skelter to another level back there.
Yeah, it was you'd like to say it's once in a lifetime, but I think this is the third time in 14 months that we've had one like this. We've had, 2 games moved. And it was – it's a lake effect snow is a different phenomenon. I know when people say lake effect snow, some people think they know what it means. It's a weather phenomenon that is unique to the Great Lakes here in the United States. You'll get a band of snow that is absolutely it's mind-boggling how much snow can fall in such a short time, and then a few miles away there will be no snow. It's a phenomenon that is absolutely phenomenal to watch and to kind of get your mind around and see it happen, and to be inside that band. It happened. It couldn't have happened at a worse time. It was absolutely right as the game should have been kicking off on Sunday afternoon. And it doesn't have to do. It has nothing to do with the fact that it's an outdoor stadium. Even a domed stadium, you couldn't have gotten to the stadium to play the game. That's the point. It's not about having a field that's clear or anything like that, or the stadium or the stands that were clear. It's about being able to travel on the road. They couldn't keep, and this is a town that knows how to move some snow. And they couldn't keep up with it. You can't get the roads open so people can get to the game, even the players and the coaches and the staff. So they had to move the game back a day and give them a chance to get the roads open and get people into the stadium. And they finally were able to do it. It's an all hands on deck kind of atmosphere here when this kind of stuff happens, and they handle it about as well as you can.
Steve Tasker joining us here, Fox Sports 910. I'm hearing this pit that the Bills Mafia has been sacrificing themselves, jumping into this pit. What is this pit that they're talking about?
Here's what happened. So when at the very beginning of the season, they've started to build the new stadium here in Buffalo. It's going to be a masterpiece. It's going to be awesome, right? Brand new stadium. And, of course, they'd start by digging a pit for the foundations. It's like 34 feet deep or something, and it's this huge, round, stadium-shaped circle. And somebody early in the season had a bender, and it wasn't just alcohol. It was they listed like 4 psychedelic drugs this guy was on, plus medications, and he ends up naked in the bottom of this pit, right? And they rescue him. He's in the hospital. He has no idea how he got there and all of that stuff. And then word gets out that every home game, somebody goes over to kind of check it out, and he hops there's a huge fence around it, right? Well, they jump the gate or go in, and they end up falling into this stinking hole or going down in there and trespassing, right? So just going down and walking around and looking around is now starting to count like somebody jumped in the pit, right? So now it's this big ceremony that somebody's got to be sacrificed to this pit so that the Bills can continue on this run that's happened over the last month and a half. So it's funny. It's not real, but it's pretty funny. And social media, and you know how that is. Nothing gets carried away on social media. Right?
No.
And
the fact, Steve, you guys have won 6 straight since it started. So that helps, I'm sure.
Right. Right. Yeah. And people are running with it. And actually it was a big story when the first guy that went in, the shape he was in, he'd gotten turned upside down in a porta-john.
Oh man.
And so you can imagine he was covered in everything you can imagine.
And
he was buck naked and delirious in the bottom of this pit, and it climbed out and then fell in again. And so that's where the legend started.
And Steve, as Rock alluded to, you guys win your last 5 in a row. You win 6 out of the last 7, and you win out of teams that are playoff bound. And I remember every week it was do or die, do or die, do or die. So I just thought when this team got to the playoff, they were already battle tested. They've been in the tournament technically for it seems like the last 5 weeks. Has that been pretty much the godsend per se to propel this team to be battle tested as much as they are right now?
Well, no question. You guys know, you know this. It's great, it works, and motivating stuff, but there's only so much gas in the tank. You've only got so many reps in your body, and when you get into the tournament, playing 7 or 8 or 10, 9, it would be 9 playoff games to get to the Super Bowl. That takes a toll, and the question is, can they keep the energy up? Can they keep executing at a high level for that long? It's a long stretch to keep going, but certainly at this point, they've evolved from where they were early in the season as well. So that, when they changed
I would get them out.
They began to get contributions from guys who had not had that chance to contribute. And that continues to be the case. It's not just Josh Allen said this year. There's a ton of guys getting in it. And that's really helping this run.
Steve, we're really having trouble with the cell phone connection. We're gonna have to try to reset here. We did not hear what he just said, so that Chris will try to get him back on. But maybe it's starting to snow again out there. You said they're going to get some snow tonight,
they're supposed to get another foot tonight. And as he mentioned, the tweets out there showing the folks out there with about 300-400 people out there and shoving away. And I think what Steve was alluding to there is, sometimes you get on a roll, you have to win. It can either inspire you or wear you out, because that tournament, you think about those last 5 wins in a row, they had to, and then they barely beat Miami, from that particular standpoint. So those are just some of the things. We got him back there, Shu?
No.
Okay.
All right. So I appreciate his time. That was good to get Steve Taster for a few minutes. I really want to find more about this pit because, I saw the story.
In Buffalo.
Yeah, that the Bills Mafia just kind of went nuts on this, and it was TikTok that started it all. And when it first started, it started on December 10th when they beat Kansas City, ironically. So they've won 6 straight since then. So Bills fans just going nuts. But I guess some sources have said there that there hasn't been any injuries, though. Hasn't been any injuries, despite the fact that these people are basically throwing themselves into this giant pit.
Well, it's probably safer than throwing themselves on tables that they do before the games. It's another one of their traditions is the table jumping, and they jump on the table at their tailgate parties, and they break this table. So maybe the pit is a softer dirt. But, just think about the superstitions that abound in these games, Rock. No matter what, if we're buying for a World Series or a Super Bowl or whatever it is, people are like, well, we got to go do the pit. They're undefeated since Kansas City. We're on a roll, and we're going to just continue on. And they will continue on in the pit. And I can imagine the security guys going, okay, guys, let's just keep this to a minimum. Because those guys are guarding this fenced enclosure where they're going to put the brand new stadium. He said 34, 40 feet. It might be 50, 60 feet deep. When you see those big holes before they start building on their stadiums and putting their holdings into the ground for these stadiums.
Hey, this hour is brought to you by the Big Game Viewing Party. So make plans to join us on Sunday, February 11th. There's a big game on that day, and we will be in the showroom. That's where it all started 25 years ago in the showroom at Casino Arizona, 101 in McKellips. And we'll have the game and the cash giveaways, and you could win cash just for watching football. And we are not charging at the door, which we did last year at Talking Stick. We're not doing that this year. You had to buy a ticket last year. So this year it's free, and you get issued squares when you walk in. So those are free. You get an opportunity to win $100 on the props that we have in the game. We just pull a name after each prop. So the first rushing touchdown, I'll pull a name, $100. And then we have the kickoff jackpot. After every kickoff, we pull a name and you get $1 a yard. If they run it back for the touchdown, you get that jackpot, which starts at $3,000. Now, if it doesn't hit, there's no kickbacks for touchdowns. Then we'll just pull whatever money is left over. So say if there's $3,500, we'll pull out $3,500 bills and we'll give those away as well. So make plans to join us. It's our 25th year partnering with Casino Arizona. Again, it's a free admission. You got to have your Salt River rewards card. It used to be called the Players Reward Card, and doors open at 3:00. So, but if you want to win a 50